Rhythms del Mundo de Cuba. That's music there. It's called I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. Of course, you probably remember that song was big in the English market and big. This guy is big in New Mexico. He's with us in the studio right now. And we're about ready to go live on Facebook. Hello, good morning. It's Paul Chavez, Mr. International, on KUHS as we're streaming live worldwide. And I'll tell you what, it's a pleasure and honor. And he came up. School's getting back into session. Can you hear me, okay, Rob?
I can hear you perfectly, Paul. Sounds good.
All right, and he decided to bring his son up to do the water world trip and all that stuff. And I figured it's a great opportunity to bring him in studio and kind of get into it, man. Get really deep into it, up close and personal with Robbie Jude from the 505. Buenos dias, Robbie. How you doing?
¿Cómo estás, Pablo? Well, before I get started, I'd like to thank you, Henry, KUHS, man. You guys do a lot for New Mexico music, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, it's our pleasure, man. Of course, Sunday with Canciones de Domingo, and Henry can be doing a jazz show. All of a sudden, a Robbie Jude song comes up. I'm like, what's wrong with you? All right, I do believe we're live on Facebook now. Good morning, everyone. It's Paul Chavez, Mr. International, with the man, Robbie Jude, on 72 different platforms around the world. He's here with us right now. Robbie Jude, the Albuquerque. How you doing, Robbie?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Paul?
Hey, pretty good, pretty good. Henry,
right.
Henry, are we on live? We are? Oh my God, I don't know. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. Oh, there we are. We're live. Okay, sorry about that. The fun part about this, Robbie, is that you can have fun here.
Absolutely.
The world of streaming has just gotten so big that now we're, touching people around the world, and it's so true. As you can see, we got the cameras here, and we're live on Facebook. You want to say hi to anybody?
Yeah, I want to say hi to a couple of my cousins out in San Diego, California.
All right.
And yeah.
What's their names?
Jose, Edith, and Pepe.
Jose, Edith, and Pepe, saludos from the 303 to your place in California. I hope you're not Raider fans. But if you are, we're going to beat you 2 times this year anyway. As you know, this is Bronco country.
Yeah.
Robbie Jude in studio. And we got to say hello to the Clavals. They're tuned in right now over in the San Antonio area. Saludos a ellos. And everybody in the 505 that's listening to us right now. Robbie Jude, up close and personal. We kind of touched a little bit. I told you I fly off the hip. I don't even know what I'm going to do, but when I do it, I do it. I've only been doing this for 47 years. Robbie Jude, let's talk about it, man. What inspired you to be a musician, first of all? At what age did you get started?
Wow, okay. Well, I started at age 6.
6.
So my father had me play guitar, and he taught me Mary Had a Little Lamb. So yeah, so Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I played it on 1 string.
Wow.
He would take me to his work job, where he was meat cutter back in the day, called Duke City. Remember Duke City?
I remember Duke City in Albuquerque, yes.
And he would tell me, hey, play for the guys. And man, I was like so shy and this and that and the other. And that's how it began. And then they bought me an organ one time for Christmas, and I learned Silent Night on that.
Silent Night, okay.
And then I just kept playing and playing, and eventually we were in Santa Fe, New Mexico with my Uncle Johnny and Aunt Molly, and my dad and this guy named Roman. He was like 90 years old at the time. I was like 11. And they had a bass, and they go, hey, you want to play bass? Because they didn't have a bass player. So I said, I'll try it. So
right.
I tried it. We played. I played with my thumb, tried to play it like a guitar. I had the worst blisters ever. But I never turned back after that.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow. And now you got one of the most expensive basses. I'm not telling anybody.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'd like to send out a shout out to Mr. Steven Sukop,
all right,
who is from Germany, but he lives in the Espanola area, and he's a marvelous Luther, bass Luther, and thank you, Stephen, man. That's the best bass I've ever had in my life.
It's a beautiful one
Yes.
too. It is beautiful. Now let's talk about the beginning of your career as far as music-wise. You were with one of the youngest groups in New Mexico. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, when I was 13 years old, I used to play in church with my father back when I was 12 years old. And anyway, there was this band called Shades of Light. They were the youngest orchestra in New Mexico.
Hmm.
And we'd play in church every Sunday, and I played bass.
Wow.
So Ronnie Lucero and his family came into church. They were in church, and they go, "Man, this guy plays really good bass." He goes, "Hey, we want you to be in our band, but do you play guitar? Because we don't need a bass player. We play guitar."
Oh,
And I
okay.
said, "Actually, I do." So they go, "Well, can you come and audition?" So I said, "Sure." So they lived out in Adobe Acres in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So my dad went and bought me this red hollow body Ibanez guitar and a round amplifier with two 12s in it. And he said, "Pack your lunch because we're going to be there all day." And that was Ronnie Lucero telling me this. And so here I
Oh,
go.
Ronnie, yeah.
Here I go to Adobe Acres with my Ibanez hollow body guitar and my roundel amplifier. And my lunch, my lunch consisted of a bologna sandwich,
Why did I know it was going to be a bologna sandwich?
two jalapenos, and a big old can of Pringles, the original flavor. So sure enough, yeah.
Filled all the way to the top, not like now, right?
Anyway, yes. Anyway, short story. Or
Long
story,
story
making
short.
it short.
Right.
I did the gig, and I did play guitar for Shades of Light for about 6 months. And then the original bass player said, "Hey, I play guitar. You want to switch?" So I ended up switching to bass, and I stayed on bass since then. And I stayed with Shades of Light for about another. So I was about 16 years old.
Wow, and you guys really had it going on. I mean, I remember had a horn section and everything. Youngsters, man.
Yes.
I don't know how you played in bars too, huh?
Yes, we did.
Jeez, at what are you like 14 or something?
I was 13.
Wow,
And
yeah.
there was this club called Studio One. Dave Nunes back in the day played. There was a band called Spinning Wheel,
Spinning Wheel,
and
yeah.
they would have battle of the bands, and we'd go and we'd always win, and we'd get like $25, and there was like 8 of us, and then we'd go eat at Vips, and believe it or not, back in that day, $25 fed all of us.
Everybody.
Yes.
All right, that was the winnings, and we're going to spend it all right
That's
now.
it.
You know, Rob, the beautiful thing, you know, you could have gotten into any genre of music that you wanted to, but it really stayed grounded in you. I'm talking about New Mexico music,
Mm-hmm.
and you kept it within you, and you went on and played with some of the groups like Al Hurricane. Tell me some of the other guys.
Well, after I went with Shades of Light, I went to a band called Southside, where they were from.
What were they called?
Southside.
Southside. Okay.
Johnny and Dorothy Mirabal, and I stayed with them.
I remember them. Yeah.
I stayed with them for a few years, and then I went on to play with a fabulous group called Fat City.
Fat City.
Fat City's
They
like,
played. Actually, you played here in Denver
Yes.
at Rachel's nightclub.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember that.
And
yeah.
Fat City is the hot lunch band of Albuquerque.
Wow.
So, yes.
Are they still jamming?
He finally retired last year. He's been having some health issues, and finally.
Is that Robert?
Robert Blea. Yeah.
Robert Blea. Yeah. I remember you guys coming to Denver and jamming over. You really opened some eyes because you know here's a New Mexico band, whatever you know, and of course the time Aguila was hot. We had
Yeah.
Brass Monkey, all these different groups in town that thought they really had it going. You guys really did a great job. So now, once again, we're live with Robbie Jude, 72 different platforms around the world. We say hello, America, and wherever you're at worldwide, as I can see the numbers are just going up. Robbie, from playing with Fat City, what happened next?
I went and I played with a few other groups. Zozobra. I stayed with Dave Nunes for a
Zozobra.
really long time. David and Company.
Right.
And which I'm still a part of that band.
Nice.
But after that, I went to play with Al Hurricane, and that was in 91 to 93, something like
Okay.
that.
Al Hurricane, of course, as
Uh-huh.
you all know, people, the world of New Mexico lost Al Hurricane, what, about 2, 3 years ago?
Back in 2017, God rest.
17.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, he opened the doors for.
Yeah, it was like you played with Al Hurricane, and everybody that would play with Al Hurricane, I mean, even like Tobias Renee used to be like the roadie.
Really?
Yeah, and then he said, "Can I play guitar?" They got him on guitar, and then before he knew it, he went on his own and did really well. But anyway, the moral of the story is when you would play with Al, he would like prep you for bigger things.
That is awesome.
So yes.
He was, and that's why I think they called him the Godfather. Besides the
Exactly.
music, you
Yes.
know,
Uh-huh.
I think you're kind of giving some insight about Al, how he wanted to share the knowledge and the experience of being a
Hmm.
performer on your own.
Yes, absolutely, and one of the best guys you'll ever meet.
So after you played with Al Hurricane, what happened?
After I played with Al Hurricane, oh, I forgot to say about Red Wine. I played with them before them, and I'm still part of Red Wine today.
Red Wine,
Anyway.
cool guys.
But
Yeah.
I played with Al Hurricane, and then ended up playing with Tobias Rene.
Right.
And I started with Toby back in like 1998. Stayed with him till 2003. But while I was playing with him, I was like, I really love New Mexico music. I can do this.
Right.
So I decided, hey, I'm gonna start my own band. And I was scared.
Right.
I was scared. I was
Right.
like, I recorded some songs, and here we are today.
Wow.
Back from 2000, I started with Robbie Jude like October of 2003, and here we are.
PGT, Puro Good Times,
Puro Good Times, PGT Records.
the record company. And I gotta ask you, I've never asked you this before. I've been around you a lot of times.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What was the most inspiring or biggest movement that you got within you, being in front of the crowd and just saying, man, I got the crowd right here? When did you feel that? What performance was that?
Oh God.
Where you just knew it was on point, everything was tight, you had the crowd going, and because you know that feeling is worth more than any amount of money
Mm-hmm.
that they can pay you.
Yeah, there were several times, but the one that I can think of probably the most and it's because there were so many bands involved, and it was playing the Sandia Casino Outdoor Arena,
Right?
and it was Cinco de Mayo, and there was thousands of people, and they had, like I said, Toby got me on that ticket, Sebastian got me on that ticket. I think that has to be one of the most memorable ones because there were so many people, and it was that venue.
The vibe.
It is so personal because it's outdoor, and
And it's close.
and it's close and personal, and I think that's one of the ones that really sticks in my head.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you were awarded when you came out with your first album,
Mm-hmm.
or CD, or EP.
Yes.
I say album, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm an OG, what can I say? So you were awarded some awards in New Mexico. Tell me about
Yeah, I got 8 or 9 awards. I can't remember them all. It's like Ranchetta of the Year, Kumba of the Year, Song of the Year. Um, I got a lot, and that was back in 2005, 2006. I remember the Albuquerque Journal. They had a page called The Venue, which was one page,
it, right?
and all of a sudden they did this big story on me, and it was like 2 full pages.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. And after that, things really blew up. I was getting calls everywhere. I'd be going to Walmart, and people were, "Can you sign my toothpaste?" And this, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I remember one time going to the register, and I got a little frustrated, and I was like, I got a little angry, and Candace goes, "Robbie, you need to chill out. People recognize you." And I go, "Oh yeah." So yeah, but after that, it was crazy.
That is
Crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that first album really put you on the map. Of course, the big single, El Quemande, which we're going to touch on that in just a little bit. I just want people to get a feel about who Robbie Jude is and how he has touched the world of New Mexico music and all these lives out there. And what inspired you to generate your own music?
Well, you know, the person that pushed me the most and that was my support and still is to this day was my wife, Candace Chavez.
Which
And
is right there. She's right there.
she kept me on a pretty good track, and she would pick the songs for me and stuff
Tight
like
leash.
this. And I gotta say, man, when I met her, just everything just blew up.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I got a beautiful son out of it. He's 12 years old now, gonna be 13.
And you don't want to get on TV?
Without my family,
Come here.
without
Come
them,
here.
I'd be nothing.
Come here.
We got Isaiah Jude in the house over here.
This is Isaiah Jude.
Say hello.
Say hi. Say
Hi.
Look at that camera and say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Who do you want to say hi to? your family, your cousins that you're on
My
Facebook with.
nana, all of my cousins, my whole family.
And I understand you're a drummer.
Yeah,
Do you know every song that he plays?
pretty much.
And you play them all?
Yeah.
That is awesome. You practice a lot in the garage, in the studio there? Yeah. And I've heard he's played some events with you.
Oh yeah, he's played for. We did Las Vegas, New Mexico back in 21, 22. There's probably about 8, 9,000 people out there, and he did a heck of a job. He's played with me with Los Quince Grandes, which holds about 4 or 5,000 people. So
I remember
yeah,
that one. And that
yeah,
one actually, Los Quince Grandes, oh, I'm thinking of the El Hurricane tribute.
yeah,
I remember him with when you were awarded or
yeah. That was Los Quince Grandes.
Los Quince
At the Route
Grandes.
66.
And you had him all suited up and
Mhm.
stuff. That was pretty neat.
Yes.
Well, it looks like the trend will continue. Now, KANW in New Mexico is kind of the source for New Mexico music and the pulse for New Mexico music, and you're on the top 10.
Top 15, yeah.
Top 15?
Top 15 at 5, and that's an honor. That's always an honor.
Yeah.
Always, yes.
Yeah, and you've won quite a few of those to number one. Can you remember the songs?
Te juro, te traigo estas flores, which was a Quince Grande award.
Right?
Ay amor.
Ay Amor.
Um, so about 2 or 3.
That's nice.
Two or
And
three, yeah.
you've got one right now that's climbing up the charts,
Yeah, my current song that I have out now is Palabritas,
which we're going to play in just
which
a little
is
bit.
doing pretty good. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Nice.
I'd also like to thank my producer and engineer, Mr. Michael Martinez out in San Antonio, New Mexico. He used to be my trumpet player back in the day too. So he's I got to give that guy a lot of credit because he's so knowledgeable and he's so good at what he does.
Right, right.
So
So there you go, folks. Up close and personal with Robbie Jude, and this guy's being taken over here pretty soon. Do you sing?
Huh?
Do you sing?
No.
No? In the shower?
Sometimes.
And what school you going to?
San Felipe de Neri.
San Felipe de Neri. Wow. Any other interests besides video games and playing drums? No?
Keyboards.
Keyboards. Oh, you playing with the keyboards too, huh, Rob?
yeah,
That's
sure is,
awesome.
Yes.
And there you have it.
Can we go back to KMW?
Let's do KNW.
I just want to thank KMW not only for my music but for all New Mexico music. They've been around for years and years. Going back to Mr. Market Biotis, do you remember?
I
Mr.
remember
Market?
him, yes.
I remember him, and he had started the New Mexico thing back in like 1984, and it grew into this. And Mr. Michael Brasher as well too. So he's the main person. And I remember back in the day doing the beach concerts. And I remember working for Market Biotis as a stage manager. So,
Wow.
And God rest Market Biotis' soul too. He passed in like 1994.
He was awesome. He was
What a
very,
great guy. But I mean,
Yeah.
he's like, when they say New Mexico music, I always think of Mark.
You know, living in New Mexico, of course, I left in 1977, and there was a DJ used to come on every Sunday. Uh, God, it got me. It got me. Give me some.
What radio station?
Um,
The Brown Bear, maybe?
yeah, the Brown Bear.
The Brown Bear.
He used to broadcast live from
KABQ.
KABQ. KABQ, the Brown Bear, and he used to do live remotes
Mhm.
from the El Hurricane nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
The Cactus or something, or what, Tumbleweed.
No,
It
that
was
was
called the Far West.
Far West.
The Far West nightclub. I remember that. And they used to, and I just used to sit there on my radio or get Chalmers Keys and go listen to him, and I just loved the way he gravitated to the crowd,
Mhm.
and he kind of inspired me to want to do this, you know. And here I am, 48 years later. But you know, I can't. I could see that, and this is what with most, I'd say about 99.9% of New Mexico artists, they all support each other.
Yes.
There's not a lot of hating going on.
You know, I can't think of anything as
You
far
know.
as people hating. I think everybody's pretty much united.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think that's what makes the music. Of course, you know, the forefathers in music, you know, the Purple Haze, and all of those musicians, and now you're playing with musicians like from Latin Breed.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
what was his name, the keyboard player?
George Rivas.
George Rivas, and
Yeah.
then you're also playing with some other musicians from the sound of Tex-Mex.
Yeah, I play um, fairly a lot with Gonzalo.
Gonzalo.
I have Red Wine, Dave Nunez, my group, Monica and the crew. I'd like to give out a shout to Monica out there.
Nice.
And I'm just blessed.
Right,
I
right.
mean, yeah.
Right. And what big events are coming up for you?
Big events coming up for me. Um, right now, I don't have anything big.
Solid?
We have like venues like casinos and stuff like
Right,
that
right.
with my group and stuff, and I do some smaller venues like Gold Street Pizza in Peru, and I did a private party. I do a lot of private parties. The last one I had was at the Hispanic Cultural Center, which was a graduation, which was really well, but nothing big like Quince Grandes or
Something will pop up.
yeah,
Anyway.
it always does.
And
But
you know,
I mean,
and that's where I
we're
get
always
it.
busy.
Yeah, that's where I got to give Gonzalo, kind of a shout out because, I mean, he tries. He works at putting stuff together, and I think there's something big coming up. It's on Facebook somewhere. Now you're in Denver. What are your plans for today?
My plans for today are as soon as we get out here, we're gonna go hit the outlet malls. After that, we're doing there's a concert today. We got Lakeside, Tierra,
Tierra, yeah.
and we're gonna go to that.
Nice.
Hang out there, and whatever else pops up. I mean, we were here for 3 days, and there's only so much you can do for 3 days.
That's right.
So we'll be back next summer on a vacation, and we'll come in here again.
Yeah, we got to get your band here definitely.
Yep.
Robbie, it's definitely been an honor and a pleasure having you on my show. Deep Cuts, of course, we're always giving you guys shout outs out in the 505. And now you see him live and in person. Where can you get your music?
All digital formats on the internet.
iTunes.
I mean, iTunes, Spotify, any digital format that's out there on the internet, you can pick up my music. Apple Tunes, YouTube, you can listen to me on YouTube. Anywhere you put in Robbie Jude, I'll pop up.
He'll pop up.
So-
Not most wanted either.
No.
So there you go, folks. We're going to be playing this music in just a little bit. Once again, everybody on Facebook, we thank you for tuning in. It's KUHS. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to check us out. We've got various genres of music. Mine is deep cuts because you don't know what I'm going to play. I play it all. So I could be playing a salsa 1 minute, next thing you know, I'm playing a ranchera, or I'll go deep into some funk. And that's just the way I like it. Over 8 years here at KUHS, we appreciate you all being locked in. Listen, those of you on Facebook, have a good weekend, enjoy it, and whatever you got going, thank you so much, and keep it locked in to KUHS. We invite you over to the radio side or the streaming side, as we're gonna start playing some Robbie Jude music right here on KUHS. Anybody you want to say hi or bye to?
Just want to say hi to all my family in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Like I said, the Sabedros out in San Diego. Just everybody, all the fans, my wife, my son. And Isaiah wants to say hi to somebody real quick.
Come on, Isaiah. Come over here. Get this mic.
I want to say hi to my grandpa,
All right.
Bob Chavez.
Mr. Bob Chavez.
There you go. All right. That's a good one. That's awesome.
And once again, Paul, I'd like to thank KUHS. Thank you most of all for always being supportive of my music. And I really, really appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much for everything.
We're on it. And again, this is only the Facebook side. We're over on KUHS, the streaming side. We're going to start playing Robbie Jude music. So we invite you to, again, have a good weekend, stay safe, and come on out to our streaming side. That's KUHS, the stream.